Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Morgan and bid you all welcome back to Gothic 2. I don't know why the music hasn't triggered today, but we press on. So, shoot, once again I have lost my page telling me what I'm gonna do today. So today is another one of those episodes where we take care of a lot of business just before we move on to something monumental. So, last episode we joined the Ring of Water, which means we now have a task set to us by Vatras, which involves the same task that we got from Nefarius, which is to get the remainder of the ornaments. But before we do that, we've been hanging on to this black troll hide for quite some time now. I want to show you who's got something for us with that before we pawn it off to Bosper, because it's obviously something he'd be interested in. But there is somebody else you can sell it to if you are not an apprentice of Bosper's. And that fellow is back on the mercenary's farm, so we got a hike ahead of us. So, see you there. You know, it kind of dawned on me some time ago. I never thought of it before, but Onar's farm is like the only major location that does not have a unique theme, at least on this part of the world. When you think of the city having its own theme, the monastery having its own theme, but for some reason Onar's farm just gets the standard Nature 1 theme, I think it is. But anyway, there's a fellow here. He's got something to say to us.
Look at that.
What do you want?
Playing the grand magician here, eh? I'll tell you something. No matter what you're wearing, I can see right through you. To me, you're just a greasy little idler, nothing more.
Greasy little idler who's beaten your ass more than once. Well, at least
problem?
once.
I know
Maybe just
people
once.
of your sort. All talk, no guts. I detest somebody who dresses up all important and brags about his heroic deeds. Just yesterday, I slugged one of the boys here in the mouth because he claimed he could bring down a black troll with one hand tied behind his back.
So what?
What's that supposed to mean? So what? Have you ever seen a black troll, Big Mount? Do you have any idea how big those monsters are, man? If you just get one step too close to them, they'll tear you to pieces.
Oh, I'm sure you've seen many.
I've killed a black troll already.
You're asking for it, huh? I ought to rip your head off. But I've got a better idea. If you're such a great fighter, then prove it.
What's in it for me?
Stupid question. Your honor and your jaw in one piece?
That's not a whole lot, is it?
Shall we say, I'll pay you a ton of money if you bring me the hide of a black troll. How's that sound?
Better.
Then what are you waiting for?
Sounds like you got something else in mind rather than simply your bravado.
I've got the hide of a black troll.
Impossible. Show me. Incredible. What do you want for it?
Give me what you got.
Okay. I give you 500 gold pieces and toss in 3 strong healing potions. What do you say?
Now, bear in mind you've already given him the skin because this stupid game kind of made you fork it over. If you try and haggle with him, he does not deal with you, but instead just hangs on to it and refuses to give you anything. So accept this deal, because, well, you'll see what happens next.
Done.
It was a pleasure.
It was indeed, but an even greater pleasure.
Methinks I'm gonna punch you in the face.
What?
That's exactly what you need right now.
I've been too nice to you so far, haven't I?
You think that's what it is? So it's the same trick to beat him that we did last time. It's all just the trick with trying to get both of his swings blocked in one parry animation, which is a real trick, I know, but really is the best way to do it.
Watch out! Yeah, let him have it.
Shit!
Go ahead, hit back. Let him have.
Oh my god, I can't believe you won that.
You show them who's boss.
Son of a bitch.
Gold. Okay, that's mine for starters.
Won't be yours for long, you son of a bitch.
Your weapon for
So normally he doesn't beat me, but it didn't even occur to me that I am not wearing the Ring of Water armor, which could have made that a little bit easier. Well, unfortunately, he's got our weapon now.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
So let's see if we can turn this around. Can't use that. Can use that, but it sucks.
It can't go on like this forever.
Don't really have much choice, do we? We gotta make that work. Son of a bitch, I almost never lose to this guy, and I didn't even think to save before we did it.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
But on the plus side, he didn't heal himself, so we're pretty close to good there. God, I'm so pissed off. Can't believe I fucked that up.
Do I have to show you again who's boss?
You lost your accent. Everything about you is a lie.
Methinks up.
What?
That's
I've been...
Oh yeah, it's much too nice. And in all honesty, this fighting staff does make it easier, just on account of the fact that it does more damage.
Not bad.
So maybe I will hang on to this for a while. We got our gold back, we got the black troll skin back. I get the feeling that he was just gonna try and use that skin to flaunt his own presumed strength and bravado to the other fools around here. I'm sure nobody would have bought it.
What's up?
But at least we denied him that opportunity, which is a win for us. So,
And there's more, believe me.
with that taken care of, we have to still... Oh, you know what? I actually wanted it to be nighttime for the next objective. We have to get the remaining ornaments for Nefarius. We do not have... Oh, well, we have this map. So as you can see, one of them is actually quite close by. It's right in the middle of one of Sekab's fields, and that's why I actually want it to be nighttime. Nighttime? Whoa, what the hell was that? I saw red for a minute. So we want it to be nighttime, just to make sure that Sekab's fields are clear. Because that's going to make it easier to do what we're doing next. Well, not really make it easier, but just make sure nobody incidentally dies in the process, because there are a couple people who sit very close to his farm, or very close to the stone circle, and have a tendency to get involved and get themselves killed, and we want to avoid that. Now, I've been weighing up different ways to deal with this. Normally what I would do is I would just leave this monstrosity that spawns. So this is going to turn out a little bit differently than than what happened with the stone circle near Lobart's farm, where we were hanging out with Cavalorn. This is going to happen a little bit differently. Something's actually going to come out when we do this. You recall him mentioning a certain stone beast that appeared when they played with the mechanisms. So in order to deal with that, they're actually not vulnerable to the ice block, I don't think. They do not actually freeze. So what we can do is get a little buddy to run interference and see how well that works. Now, there is a hidden mechanic in this game. Blunt weapons carry a unique damage type that doesn't really apply to most enemies, but does apply to enemies that are stone-based, such as the stone sentinels and the stone golems, which I think are the only two examples. So this is going to be an occasion where this staff might actually do us a favor. But the trick is... well, there isn't really much of a trick. It's just these stone sentinels are some of the most annoying things to fight in melee, as you're about to discover. Let's get this little buddy out. Now bear in mind, when you summon things, they do not last very long. They last a couple minutes at best, I think. Let's give this a shot. So, the goblin's not going to do much for us. But it will run interference. It's probably going to get wasted pretty quick. So as you can see, the problem with these stone sentinels is they don't have much of a recoil animation. They have a tendency to just hit through it. But he did enough. Thank you, little buddy, for your service. So we got our ornament. Make sure you loot it off of the stone sentinel once you knock him down. So that's done enough for us. So how does this compare? That's 40. This is quite a bit better. I think against goblins, since there isn't really much you can do to defend yourself against goblins, besides lay into them. I think we'll roll with a staff just to try and take him down quicker. It's a little bit easier when you actually draw your weapon. So the nice thing about having a weapon with actual damage that we can deal is that the critical hits do in fact deal more damage than the normal hits at this point. Which is something that makes it a little bit better, but we don't get many critical hits, so it's not really that big of a deal. Regardless, we got that. So our next stop, now that we got our black troll skin back in our deserving hands, let's go sell it to somebody who actually appreciates it. So the funny thing about this is that we know that Bosper pays for everything in the exact amount of gold that it's valued at, but completing the quest for Raoul actually got us a much bigger reward. But regardless,
you
we
went and entered the monastery, huh? I hope they let you out often enough so you can keep me supplied with skins.
Oh, I got more important things to do than your little bullshit business here, but
I've got a few skins for you.
Wolf skin, that's good. What the hell is this skin?
I ripped a troll off for that one.
That is worth a small fortune. And the hide of a black troll at that. Good work. Come see me again when you have more.
apparently a black troll is worth exactly 50 gold more than a non-black troll. But yeah, so obviously Raoul actually placed a much higher value on that skin, but given his attitude, I don't think he deserves it. Anyway, so our last task is the last stone circle we have to reach is that one up in the northwest area, which is a dense forest that we haven't really seen much of. We went in there slightly looking for the bandits that waylaid Hekon, but we need to go a lot deeper, and Lares can actually give us a hand with that.
Can you help me get through the thick woods in the east?
Okay, but what do you want to go there for?
Nefarius ordered me to find more ornaments. One of the places where I'm supposed to look is in the middle of the woods.
I see, and that's still too dangerous for you alone, right? No problem. Let me know when you want to leave.
I want to leave now.
Okay, let's go.
Where?
Lassos Gehen.
To the dense forest in the east.
Then let's go. Follow me.
So Larry's made a point that we're not supposed to wear this armor in town or in any other civilized areas. It's meant to be a secret uniform. In spite of the fact that it doesn't really look like much, there's not really much ornamental, ceremonial, or anything about it, but it does have some fancy stitching. That's about all you can say about it. So, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I'll see you when we get close. This is interesting because Larry almost never bothers to come after these things. Must have been just within range this one time. Luckily, he's just clever enough to find his way out of this trench here. I always found this to be a very curious moat. I guess moats don't necessarily have to have water in them to be useful. I kind of question who would ever besiege the city. Because this isn't really in an area where people would be... I mean, I guess maybe in the historical context of the city, it might have been worth sailing out and laying siege to once in a while, so sturdy walls and a deep moat might have done it some favors. Larry?
Have you thought about going into the woods? Do you really want to do that?
Right, so here's a big cause for concern. It makes it seem like you can let him go and then meet up with and then come back to deal with this later. But if you do not do this now that you brought him all the way out here, he will not. You will not get the option to bring him back out here again, and you will have to do it on your own. So once you've made this decision, you gotta commit. But don't really worry, because he can pretty much take care of everything himself.
Yes.
All right, my friend. Then follow me. This is going to be gross.
Gross. Well, take it easy now. You're going the wrong goddamn... Holy shit, what are you doing? Why? Larry, what are you doing? You're not going the right direction. What the hell is wrong with you? Where are you going? Jesus fucking Christ. I have never seen that happen before. I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. His navigation is a little bit off today. Now, that actually reminds me of a completely different game, but a bug I remember running into back when I was playing Morrowind many, many moons ago. There was a weird bug that happened where I had restarted so many times because I would keep making a character, deciding I didn't like it and would have to start over, so I would just keep hitting new game. For some reason, every time that I started a new game, the guard that's supposed to come down and tell you that you're ready to leave
There's another
would have
scummy
more and more
beasts.
difficulty finding his way down below decks. It was hilarious because the final scene, he couldn't get through the door and he just kept walking in circles. So anyway, Larry can pretty much take care of himself. Don't really have to help him out at all. Just ninja all the loot once he's done.
Nothing to be had there.
I would like to loot this wolf. So yeah, there's a fair few skeletons that make their home out here. If you want to, you can try and pull them to get Larry to deal with them. It's quite a difficult thing to do. Oh my god, we got two of them. We can deal with the lower one ourselves, I think. The lower skeletons, I'm not really sure. I think lower skeleton is actually something of a translation problem. They probably mean like lesser skeleton. I'm curious to see what the actual translation of the German word would have been. But they have the bad AI where they come flailing at you, so they're easy to exploit. But once Larry gets 2 hits on the skeleton, he just takes over from there, so don't really have to help him out at all. If you want to lay in a whack now and then, feel free, but make sure Larry gets at least 2 solid hits on the skeleton before you take another swing at him. Otherwise, you now have his attention.
One less monster.
But no big deal, because Larry is immortal. A lot of mushrooms out here. I suggest you pick them all for very good reasons.
So much for you, filthy beast.
Filthy beast. So filthy. Just look at you and your filth. Now there is quite a lot to see out in these woods. They take up such a huge area of the main game map. And I
Come here, you filthy beast.
very seldom make a point to really look through it all. To the point that I don't really remember everything that's out here. I know there's a cave and a small cemetery. There's a cliffside. A bunch of snappers. Later on, there's quite a few orcs. but like I always lose my bearings out here, which is kind of impressive for a game that a game that kind of has a relatively small map. Piranha Bytes did do a good job in a lot of areas of making these, like, making it easy to get lost. I'm thinking of this and I didn't know about that dragon root there. I'm thinking of this and the woods between the old camp and the swamp camp in the first game. Things I almost never take time to explore because I always end up getting lost, and even to this day I find them slightly intimidating. But that said, there's only a few things that are really worth finding out here. And we'll get to those in our own sweet time. Ow. Right, we helped. You little bitch.
So much for you, filthy beast.
The filthiest of beasts.
Nothing to be had there.
So Larry likes to get into a weird bug here, where for some reason he just stands in a weird position and twitches like crazy.
Hurry up. I don't want to stay here any longer than I have to.
So if you want to, he just stands here until you complete what you have to do out here. So if you want to go out and pull a few beasts back to him to get him to win you some free XP, not a bad idea. And I'm going to do that with these wolves and a couple wargs over there as well. I mean, obviously we can deal with wolves pretty effectively on our own, but... You notice that they actually pulled on Larry's pretty quickly. That's because we never actually landed a hit on them. So as soon as Larry's actually dealt damage to one, he pulled aggro immediately. And that's kind of an interesting thing with the AI of monsters in this game. That's actually why scavengers, if you do not actually deal damage to them, you can get them to chase you and then distract them with the corpse of another creature. Same thing with the giant rats. But wolves don't have that scavenger AI, as I call it, so you can't distract them that way, but you can get somebody else to pull the aggro for you. Which is nice. But not really a strategy we have to apply too often. So what you'll find is that there are two wargs over here. Wargs are much tougher versions of wolves, and we need to be very careful because they can do a lot of hurt. We've got to do some bobbing, some weaving, some serpentine. Ow! Holy shit. Oh god, this is a mistake. I really should have had the other sword out with a better dodge. Larry's, you need to land some hits. Please, for the love of God, land some hits. Land both. Thank you. Holy shit. Wargs are interesting creatures, because they didn't exist in the first game. They're very dark wolves with very red eyes. And they kinda came to replace the orc dogs in the first game. I think maybe they were kind of coming on the heels of the Lord of the Rings movies, where wargs were the beasts that the orcs rode in those films and in the books. But strangely enough, the orc dogs actually looked more like the movie wargs than these wargs do. So I'm surprised they didn't just use the same model and change the name. But no matter. We got that, we got the loot, we got the XP. Now it is time to actually do what we came out here to do. But first, let's stop and pick some flowers. So this is the last of these stone circles we have to deal with. Definitely the most difficult one to get to if we didn't have Larry tagging along. but not that much of a threat. King Sorrel out here, make sure you grab that, and a stone tablet, make sure you grab that as well. So the trick with this is to make sure that you can pull this stone sentinel over to Lares, is to start with these two, what do you call these? Like these specific type of structures. I forget the name for them. The Stonehenge type things. Arch, I guess. It's the closest thing. Start with the buttons on these two and end with the one closest to Larry's. That way you can just run back off. My god, the frame rate out here is fucking dreadful. Oh my god, no, holy shit, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my god, this never fucking happens on... Oh my god. Oh, this is the fucking weirdest bug that happened all the time when I was streaming. I thought it was a problem with the... DirectX 11 mod, but apparently it is not. I can't believe it just fucking happened. Well, I will see you in a second when I get this fixed. Well, that was obnoxious. It's a weird bug that seems to happen when I'm strafing. And again, I never seem to encounter it when I'm not doing the DirectX 11
You
mod.
should be able to do the rest by yourself. I'm headed back then.
Alright then. Thanks for the help. Nice of you to wait around until you're sure we're done. But we are done, so let's move on. We got the goods. So we really ought to bring them back to Nefarius. I'm trying to think if we can deal with the bandit camps now. We've got this. This will be like a lifesaver with one of them. The other one's going to be a bit trickier. This might work. Might work. Or we can see what the monastery has going on and if there's anything we can use summons-wise. Why don't we pay the old monastery a visit? We'll have to dress up for the occasion. So he doesn't really have much that can help us. He has those 3 Oblivion Scrolls we gave him. He's willing to sell them back to us, which is nice. Why was I still carrying the leather armor this whole time? Man, I have a lot of stuff. Alright, so we can take the opportunity to learn Circle 2. Do we get anything good with Circle 2? I always kind of forget. So each of the circles is tied to the chapter of the game that you're in. So you learn Circle 1 in Chapter 1, but very shortly afterwards you can learn Circle 2, because you very quickly enter Chapter 2. The only oddball is that you get Circle 6 at the end of Chapter 5, because Chapter 6 takes you somewhere where you can't really get it. We can do Summon Wolf. That's not that useful. Fireball. We can get more bang for our buck another way. We don't have to do the bandit camps before we move on, but they're all kind of wrapped together, and they're actually harder to get to if we put them off.
I need a...
So the interesting thing about Gorax is he actually gets more spell scrolls and certain objects that you need to create runes when you get the knowledge on how to make the specific runes. That's actually only true of the Night of the Raven version. He did not have any of that in the original, which meant you had to make sure you found anything you needed to create the runes. which could be a pain in the ass. Alright, so none of them really have anything that's going to help us. Zurus actually seems to be better stocked with this stuff, but we'll pay a visit to Isgoroth, see if his inventory is expanded at all.
Hey.
I don't care about your blessing. You also have nothing that good. If any of them had big lightning, that would be nice. We could put a few fools to sleep. That would make it easier. Actually, I've never really tried that strategy. Actually, there's another strategy I could think of if we could find the scroll. Let's check in with Zurus.
Show me.
Okay, he's got some good stuff. Skeleton might go a long way. I actually would want to save the demon. This might do the trick. It's effectively equivalent to the fire rain, but it does half the damage. I think we'll take it. It might be just what we need. Take that for good measure. So, let's see if we can pull this off. You know, I forgot about these idiots. Oh my god, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Why the fuck is this happening? Holy shit, this game is annoying. So I haven't dealt with those two idiots. I meant to deal with them before we even joined the monastery so that we could still finish Balthazar's quest. But given that that's no longer a possibility, I'm not really in a huge hurry anymore. So they'll get what's coming to them someday. Ooh, mushrooms. So like I said, there was like I said a while ago, there was a weird bug where I could get these guys to all attack their prisoner who they're actually keeping in that tent over there. And I wasn't able to get that to happen again. So what we're gonna have to do... It never occurred to me if these guys even go to sleep at night. What we're gonna have to do is see if this even works. If you want to, you can try and one by one kill all these idiots, but the fortunate thing with this is that the prisoner that we're gonna try and rescue in the tent actually cannot die. But he might be able to aggro if we use this. So we want to be wary of that. Oh, we should be safe. If we approach from the tent, they can't see us. That lets us get close enough to do this. And now the interesting thing about area of effect spells is that they happen around you. Sorry about pulling the mic. They happen around you, which means if you move, the area of effect moves with you. So we can actually pull with this.
You're in for it now. You're in for it now.
If we run away, hopefully that dude won't still be mad at us when we get back. So if he is, then that's going to make this tricky. You gonna be mad?
You again?
He is mad. Alright, well... we can live with that, we can live with that. Gotta do is unequip weapons, drop our gold. And just take this off to make it easier for him. Go on, do what you gotta do. Oh, come on, dude. Holy shit, he does no damage. It's gonna take all day. Do I have more Oblivion spells? I do, I got plenty. Might need those.
Don't try that again, Buster.
Oh, I won't.
You poor sucker. You don't even have any gold on you.
And now he's gonna go take someone else's
I
weapon.
think I had better take this weapon.
Well, whatever.
Wait a minute.
You're a thug. Get lost.
Okay, so he won't talk to us. But we got this. So it's fine.
Thank goodness. The bandits are done for. You have saved my life.
Who are you?
My name is Elvridge. I come from town.
Master Thorben told me that you had disappeared.
Those lowly scum dragged me off here and were keeping me prisoner.
What exactly happened to you?
I was on my way to the rendezvous I had set up with my girl. Her name is Lucia. We've been planning to get away to the mountains and away from the town and all those who live there. I had just arrived at the meeting point when suddenly some of these bandits sprang out from the underbrush and captured us both. I put up a fight, of course, but to no avail. There were just too many of them. You didn't happen to see them?
Well, I see all the dead ones around you.
Tell me about Lucia.
A girl from the harbor district. She used to work for that horrible Bromor. She's very pretty.
What did the bandits want with you?
Sometimes I could overhear them at night. I didn't get everything, but I think they wanted to make us slaves.
Where were they going to take you?
To a place somewhere here, on the island of Corinus, but I think one can't get there without a ship. They brought me to a mooring place on the coast. Some pirates were camped out there. One of
Sounds
the bandits
familiar.
approached the pirates to negotiate. They were having a fierce argument. I think the bandit wanted the pirates to ferry him somewhere, along with me, but the pirates wouldn't have it. So the bandits withdrew, and we've been sitting around here ever since. They seemed to be rather at a loss, and then you came.
Now their lives are at a loss.
Where's the pirates' mooring place?
Not far from the harbor of Corinus. When you stand on the quay and look out to the sea, all you need to do is get a boat and go to the right along the coast. The first small bay you come across is the mooring place I was talking about.
Pirates in Corinus?
I don't know very much about them. I first clapped eyes on one of them at the mooring place. They always stay in the background. Every single one of them is a wanted criminal in Corinus. They're afraid of the gallows. That's why you're never going to meet one of them in town.
Oh yes, not one indeed.
Bromor says Lucia walked off with a golden dish.
Well, if Lucia really stole from Bromor, the bandits will certainly have taken the thing from her.
Where's Lucia now?
We parted ways at the big crossroads in front of Onar's farm. The bandits dragged Lucia off to the woods behind Sekop's farm. May Innos protect her.
Yeah, because you sure couldn't.
Did the bandits who held you captive receive a shipment of weapons?
Oh yes, so many that they could barely carry them. They took the whole caboodle and disappeared towards Sekop's farm.
You should get yourself back to town in a hurry.
What else would I be doing? I'm going straight back to my master Thorben. Will you go look for the bandits?
Well, yes, I think so.
If you find Lucia, get her safely back to town, will you?
I'll see what I can do.
I will indeed. Certainly couldn't put any of her trust in you. Don't know what she saw in a coward such as yourself. Anyway, before we... Where did I even drop that gold? Son of a bitch. There it is. Right, slap that on. Luckily, we got a nice convenient bed right here. You know, what a luxury. I mean, these bandits, you know, kidnapped him. We're gonna enslave him, but they were nice enough to give him, excuse me, a relatively comfortable cot while the rest of them just sat around outside. Left, left, right, 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 left. Honestly, why do they even bother locking up that little gold? Left, right, left, right, left. Left, right, left, right, right, left. Okay, so I may have spotted the last bandit camp at one point. I think the intended sequence of operations here is that you deal with each of these camps before moving on to deal with Dexter. But given that you have to deal with these camps on your own, in Dexter you at least get help from Greg, who takes on most of the bandits himself. The rest of these are actually a little too difficult for you to typically deal with on your own. The ones on the bridge were a little bit easier because they were easier to pull. The ones out here, not quite so much. So that is why I typically wait a little while until we can get such powerful items such as these. Which I'm weighing up if I even want to use that here. We might be able to do a triple threat with some of these. Blast two of them with that and have a skeleton kind of mop up the rest. That way I can save the fire rain for something much more threatening. But we'll get to that. So if you want to head straight through, you can. I would give the foggy area on the left there a wide berth, because lots of goblin skeletons show up there as the chapters drag on. Let's keep this at the ready, just to be aware of what threats lie out here. Oh, there's one. Son of a bitch. Right, that's why I never came in here before, because of these assholes. Well, let's start from the tavern like we did last time. So I remember trying to deal with these guys in interesting ways in the last walkthrough I did. Don't really remember what the final solution was. I think I was up on the cliffs on that side trying to deal with them one at a time somehow. It's not easy. We get old Skeleton. I'm started over here. Try and block a couple bandits. Probably would have been ideal to go for the ones.
I'm gonna rip you to pieces.
Ow, that still hit me. Wow, alright. That was very effective. I probably didn't even need to use the ice blocks. He did a lot more damage than I thought he would. So if you need to get rid of a summoned creature for any reason, just have your weapon put away and click on them. And that puts them down. You might be tempted to try and beat them up to get some XP. Just bear in mind that they are as strong as their non-summoned counterparts, but they are technically level 0, so they do not give you any XP. So it is not worth it. So, no sign of Lucia out here, I'm afraid. Well, a sign of her former presence, though. Let's take a look at this. Dearest Elvrich, I cannot find the words to describe how sorry I am. I know that you will not understand, but I've come to the conclusion that it's better for us, both of us, if you find a more respectable girl than I am. I won't be coming back from where I'm going now. Forget me, a wench like me is not right for an upright fellow like you. Farewell. Sounds like a load of crap. Something tells me she's just trying to be a lot more courteous in her breakup. But she is gone, strangely enough. So their meeting would not have been a a much more pleasant one had the bandits not intervened after all. Did I get the other thing? I did. Delivery. Behind Sekop's farm. 15 short swords, 20 rapiers, 25 loaves of bread, 15 bottles of wine. This was the last time. This thing is getting way too hot. Fernando. All in caps, just like he is. Left, right, right. So, old fat Fernando. Turns out he's the one fencing weapons to the bandits all along. Right, 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 left. Son of a bitch. Right, right, left, right. Holy shit. Right, right, left, right, left. Not worth it. I broke like 6 lockpicks. Alright, so, well, we got enough incriminating evidence to pretty much determine for sure that Fernando is the one selling selling weapons to the bandits. In fact, we really can't possibly accuse anyone else at this point. But here's the thing. If you want to accuse Fernando now, don't forget that he has actually given us a quest. And that quest depends on us getting back from the Valley of Mines and reporting to him. We put him in jail, he won't be terribly forthcoming with that reward. So we're gonna have to hold off for now. He's got no bandits left to deal with, so there's no more that he can do, no more harm that he can do. No, don't really need to be in a hurry to put him in jail. But no matter. It is time for us to drop off these ornaments with Nefarius. Luckily, we have a nice quick way to get there.
Hey, you!
About the missing ornaments.
Yes?
I found them.
Well, that's terrific. Now I have them all. Now all we have to do is put them together. We will have to use our combined powers to fit the piece back into a ring. Here, I can give you some gold coins for your trouble. Follow me. There. And now, step aside.
Don't tell me my business. So. What you're gonna see is about 60 seconds of this just over and over again. If you really want to, you can sit here and watch the whole thing, but a quick way to skip it is just to save and reload and come out the other side with this already being complete.
Hey, you!
The ornament has been put back together. Since you brought us the necessary fragments, you should also set them into the portal. Go to Satyrus and let him give you the reassembled ring. Hopefully, the portal will then open.
Hopefully indeed. Now, before we talk to Satyrus, we actually got a letter from Vatras to give to him as part of this. You'll notice it is shown as a sealed scroll. If we were to open it, it actually does break the seal. Dear Satyrus, I hope that you will soon reach your goal. Our situation in the city appears to have relaxed somewhat at the moment, but I fear that the quiet is deceptive. You should hurry. I need you here. I've studied your records and can confirm your suspicion. The writing does indeed point to an Adanos-worshipping culture. Be careful and do not allow yourself to be blinded by false prophets. The missing citizens of Corinus were dragged by the former Ore-Baron Raven to the region where the portal obviously leads. One more thing. I've sent you help. The bearer of this message is somebody very special. He has such a remarkable gleam in his eyes. I am not certain, but it could be he, even if we have imagined him differently. Test him, I think I am right. So this ambiguous he. Now, if we deliver this letter, now that we've broken the seal, we actually lose XP for dropping it off. So if you want to read it, make sure you save and then reload after doing so.
Hey, you!
I belong to the Ring of Water now.
As I see, you wear the armor of our members, and I see in your eyes that you speak the truth. Very well. I shall accept your entrance into our ranks. But bear in mind that this comes with a great responsibility, and I hope for your sake that you'll do it justice.
Oh, I always do it justice.
What sort of strange earthquakes are those?
That is one of the puzzles I am trying to solve. The structure of magic is being disturbed somewhere behind these mountains. Quite
Somebody's trying to
obviously,
blow up an ore mound.
Someone is trying with all of his might to break a powerful magic. I fear it will not be long before the entire island is plagued by these tremors.
Can you teach me anything about magic?
So that you can once again interfere with the magical structure? No, I have no time for such games.
Oh, this is no game.
Give me the ring. I shall open the portal.
Good. As a new member, you should be granted this honor. However, I'm still waiting for a message from Vatras. Until I receive it, we cannot go.
I have a message from Vatras for you.
Very interesting. All right. Here, take the ring. We shall gather at the portal and wait for you. If Nefarius is right, the portal will open as soon as you insert the ring there.
Oh, yes, indeed. But, ladies and gentlemen, that will not happen today. So, many people actually do have a tendency to go through the portal in Chapter 2. I do not think it's a great idea. I guess a lot of people, for some reason, think it's better to do it now and have that XP for when we go to the Valley of Mines. I actually think the opposite is true, because we can get some XP in the Valley of Mines without really doing much, and put off a lot of the dangers until a later chapter. But the XP we get there will benefit us once we move to the Valley of Mines, or move to the place beyond the portal. So that's what I'm planning on saving it for. So, there will be a bit of a weird cut for the next episode, because I will actually be going through the portal kind of off screen, saving it for later, basically recording it, saving it for later, and then the only reason I'm doing that is because there's a certain Circle 2 spell that I want that we can only get from one of the water mages, and they only teach us once we get to the other side of the portal. So I'm going to have to do a trick advised to me by my friend Val, and I guess this is the same thing Koshmar did when he did his walkthrough, which is to just go through, save the recording of that event for the episode when we actually commit to doing Jarkandar, and that way we have this spell ready for us when we go to the Valley of Mines. So that's what I'm going to do. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you kindly for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you also enjoyed the stupid little April Fool's video, which it wasn't really intended to be an April Fool's video, but it just happened to work out that way. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, subscribe to my stream archive channel, links in the description below. Also join us on Discord if you like, for assorted banter, or just follow me on Twitter for more of the same crap. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a wonderful night.